The first CS2 major is upon us, and with that, the pickems are here, and everyone wants to get a diamond coin. So I'm going to be showing you my perspective, what I think about the matchups, and we can see if I can help you get a diamond coin that we all want. So let's get right into it. On the main screen of CS, you will now see this icon on the left, and you're going to want to click this to get to your pickems. And when you click that, you're going to get this page here, where at the top right, you can put in your team graffiti that you can spray in game unlimited, how the challenge works, and all of the pickem stages in the bottom right. Probably the best way to do it, speaking as someone that hasn't had many diamond coins, but just at least what I think is that you should be using this website with majors.im24 Copenhagen. Probably the best thing to do is to make sure that you're not selecting teams that, you know, maybe they're going to face each other in like the 2-0 stage based off of who you think is going to win, and then you end up just having two teams that are going 3-0 that it's not even possible, and you might want to, like, you know, put in someone else that's kind of a sleeper. I think that this is probably the best thing that you could do to try to see, you know, who's going to be going through, especially for like your 3-0 and 0-3s. So what I would recommend is that you all go through this, at least if you think that you've like seen all the matches before and like you have a good idea of who you think could be going through. This is like the default page that will pop up. I would say at first glance that a lot of these matchups are really, really close. I think that there's probably going to be more upsets on like this first stage, on like this round 1 than most people probably expect. So that can drastically change like all of the spots here. So for this pick'em stage, I am going to go for my 3-0s. I'm going to start with Eternal Fire, and I'm going to start with Saw. And my reasonings for this is based off of like me going through the calculator. I think that Eternal Fire is a favorite in most of their matchups, and I think that they have been playing really well. They have like a lot of things going for them. With Saw, I think that they have a chance of going 3-0 as well, but I'm not as like 100%, so this is a little bit of like a more risky pick. I think that some of the other matchups that are possible in like the 2-0s can get kind of dicey, and I think Saw has been always a really good team. Like, we've seen that at the RMR. They had the miracle comeback win at you know, down 0-2, and they come back 3 and just smashing, so that was really impressive. Yeah, I think that they definitely could do it. We'll talk about the 3-1, 3-2 teams that are gonna advance. I'll start with C9. I think that C9 has more than enough capability to be making it through probably the most commonly picked 3-0 spots next to Eternal Fire, if I was to guess. Of course, I think they're all really good and they're probably going to make it. Ents, I think that they're also most likely going to make it. I think they're playing great. Another candidate to go 3-0. And then we're going to go with Furia. I think that they have had some shaky results in the last couple months, similar to us, but I think that their form right now for the RMR is good. I think that they have a lot of matchups that they have a good chance of winning. Okay, next I'm going to go with Apex. So I think Apex has had actually pretty good results, I think, from what most people would be thinking. I'm not sure how common like this pick is going to be. I think that Nock has been an amazing player the last couple months, especially. Jacob's been playing super well. I think that Seiko's like suited into his role pretty well on the team. He's like being like that stable player that they need, and he's very analytical as well. So I think that they have like a lot going for them, and they've been a pretty consistent team the last couple months. And here we have Heroic, so that's a pretty cool story for them. I think that they have been playing great. Shouldn't really be having any problems, honestly, getting through. And then for my last pick through, so this is a very hard choice. So for me, it's coming down to either Imperial or Mongols. And I think that Imperial has a pretty good form. I haven't really watched a lot of like the Mongols games, but I know that they're a really strong team. So honestly, you could really pick either Imperial or Mongols for like the last slot. I think that either of them look like they can be going through. I think I'm gonna go Imperial. Has had a pretty good form recently. I think that they have the capabilities of making it to the next stage, and I would of course really like that. I support those guys a lot. I think that they're playing well from the RMR. They went 3-0, played them in practice as well. I think that they're playing good Counter-Strike. Mongols, they've been playing good for months as well. So it's really hard to say, and even in my simulator that I did, I have them playing each other in the 2-2. Who knows? I'm sure that there's going to be tons of things that are going to be different from like the simulation that I did, and probably from whatever you're going to do as well. But I'm personally going to go with Imperial. Going to root for my boys here, and they also just had a boot camp at the same place that we were at, so that was pretty cool. Really, really nice guys. But Mongols are definitely can make it through. I think either choice would be a really good choice. And unfortunately for the 0-3s, I'm going to go with Legacy, and Pain. Not really too much to say. I think that they just like haven't had as strong looking a form as the other teams. Of course, hope that they don't, but you know, someone's got to lose here, and I think that they have some tough draws for a lot of their matches. Pretty much that's been my pick'ems. I strongly recommend that you go to the simulator, try to see like what can kind of influence different things. That was also kind of the reasoning why I went with Saw. I think that they're kind of like my sleeper pick. I think that they're going to make it through, but I think that they could also go 3-0, and I don't think that you need to get a ton of these even correct based also off of this. You only need to get 5 right, and I think that this probably should be getting you 5. I'm going to save all these picks. So I hope that this helps you get your diamond coin. Let me know if you guys think that I'm wrong with anything. I'm sure there's going to be tons of different things that are going to be happening that are going to be crazy. The Major is one of the toughest tournaments of the year, where everyone's pulling out all of their tricks that they haven't used before. Everyone's going to be just playing at their absolute max, and it's a lot of pressure. This is the biggest tournament. Thankfully, we have 2 this year, but this is the biggest tournament for like this half of the year. We're also going to be playing in the elimination stage, the legend stage, whatever you want to call it. So we'll be in that stage and going to be doing our best. So I hope that you support us, Complexity, at the Major. Put your team graffiti on up here if you'd like to. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.